Hello and welcome to Gardening with Ben, the award-winning gardening podcast as voted for by the Grow Your Own magazine and by my followers and by my listeners. I hope that you have all clicked that subscribe button. If you're new to the podcast channel, please do click the subscribe button and then you get notified of all the new podcasts that get launched. And if you're not following me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube and TikTok, make sure you look for Gardening with Ben and follow me on all my social medias. So sit back, relax, grab a brew and let's enjoy today's gardening podcast with Ben. Hello and welcome back to Gardening with Ben for a brand new episode. We're here today recording our episode before we start our 4 night shifts. It's Sunday, it's the end of the week. We've just had a fantastic 5 days down at the allotment. I don't feel like I've done a lot because the weather has been phenomenal here in Yorkshire, in Sheffield where I am. And obviously the rest of the UK has been boiling hot as well. We're obviously going through this heat wave at the moment. Fingers crossed the rain and the thunderstorms, what they're saying tomorrow, will actually come and cool it down a bit and hopefully get some well needed rain, which we've definitely been waiting for quite a while now. Like, it did actually rain the other week in Sheffield, so we've had a bit of rain recently in Sheffield, but obviously we're getting the flood warnings from the thunderstorms because it's that dry it will just run straight off it, and we're also getting the hose pipe bans which possibly could come in on the 26th for the Yorkshire water region. I know there's restrictions in other parts of the UK already, but yeah, fingers crossed we don't get those restrictions, but we'll see what happens. I'll probably have to go with the rest of the country and just follow suit, to be honest, but we'll see. We have to go along with it obviously, because obviously we need to conserve the water so that we've got enough water to last us. Last winter wasn't so horrible. It wasn't a bad winter whatsoever, and that's one of the reasons why I got a lot of my jobs done, because it was an actual decent winter. So hence the reason probably why we're running short of water this year. So what have we been up to on the allotment this week? This is our weekly roundup of what we've been getting up to. And yeah, like I said, it's been very hot weather, so I've not wanted to do a lot down there. I've done my bits and bobs down there. I've obviously done watering, which is the main important job during this hot weather. But I've not done a lot down there. I've been deadheading. I've been doing some of that. Some of my flowers what needed deadheading. Obviously, the more you deadhead them and chop them back, the more they will grow and continue to flower right up until the first frosts, when they'll probably kill them off, and the cold nights. So whenever you are looking after the flowers and plants, they will keep blooming and keep producing them beautiful flowers. So we've been doing that, and obviously we've been doing the main thing, which is harvesting. That is the best part of having an allotment, harvesting. Absolutely love harvesting. I picked quite a lot of plums recently. They've been doing well, and while I've been picking them, I've also been pruning the tree back, because it needs a good prune back, and you're meant to prune them plum trees June, July time, so we're probably alright for now, pruning it now, but we're giving that a good chop back this year, because it is getting a lot bigger and taller, and I want to get it under control quite a bit, so hopefully we can sort it out and tidy it up a lot. So we've been doing that. We've also been harvesting blackberries. I've got a cooking apple tree which I've been getting cooking apples off at the moment, some absolutely delicious ones, and my mum likes making me crumbles, so if I grow the produce, she'll make me the crumbles. And apple crumbles can be a bit bland sometimes just on their own, so if you can go out and find some blackberries to add to them, it will add some fantastic flavour to the crumble. And that's what I've been doing. I've been going around picking the blackberries for her, so that she can produce these beautiful crumbles for me to have every single day. She does them in batches of 4, so they'll last me 4 days at a time. And I think I'm on my 3rd batch now, 3rd batch of crumbles. And yeah, obviously they're not very healthy, but obviously they're healthy because they've got fruit in them. But they are absolutely delicious, and I can't really turn around and say, no, I don't want them, because I will definitely gladly have them. And they do taste delicious, and they're nice big puddings as well. I don't usually have puddings, so it's nice to be eating them on a regular basis as well. So we've been having them. And what else have we been harvesting this week? We've harvested some courgettes. I've harvested some of them. Raspberries, autumn raspberries, I'm harvesting them at the moment. They've done really well. They're fruiting really well at the moment. Obviously, it's not in autumn, but this is the time when autumn raspberries start to fruit and produce their fruit. They're later than the summer ones, and they're absolutely delicious. Again, she's been putting these in the crumble because there's not enough to make jam or anything with, and they don't last long once they've been picked. So she's been putting them in crumbles with the blackberries as well. And I've also been picking my thornless blackberries. And one thing that I've noticed with thornless blackberries is that once you've picked them, they last for a lot longer than wild blackberries once you pick them for some bizarre reason. Whether it's a genetic inside and what they've done to them, I don't know, but they seem to last a lot longer once they've been picked. If you've got thornless blackberries, let me know your thoughts. Tell me if yours last a lot longer once they've been picked than normal blackberries. It's bizarre really, because you'll pick normal blackberries and they'll be mouldy within a couple of days once you've picked them. So yeah, thornless blackberries seem to last a bit longer. So we've done that. What else have we done? So let's talk a bit about what's going off on the plot, what's growing and what's not growing. I always say that when I do my live streams, when I'm showing people around. Let's have a look what's growing and what's not growing, because I'm honest with everybody. I'm not one of these that hide the truth and hide the worst bits and tell people everything's fantastic, because it's not always fantastic. So we'll go around the full length of the plot talking about it and how things are getting on at the moment. So at the front of my plot, I've obviously got my flower bed, and that's what I've been doing my heading on at the moment, getting all them tidied and getting them trimmed back. Obviously I want them to keep flowering as long as possible, up until when the frosts come, which will probably be October, November time. And once they are starting to look a bit horrible, I'll dig them all out. I'm one of these that I'll just blitz it and I'll dig them all out when they start dying, because that flower bed is my spring flower bed in the springtime. I've got absolutely loads of bulbs in there, but it needs a good refresh. I was looking at it this year, and there is a lot of spring bulbs, but there's not as many as what there used to be in terms of tulips. I planted a load of tulips in there years ago, and they seem to not be there now. Whether it's me digging stuff up or whether it's Mr. Squirrel pinching them, but this year I need to get a lot more tulips for the front of the plot this year. I planted absolutely loads of daffodils last year, absolutely loads, and I've took photos of where the daffodils have grown, so I know where they all are. But this year I want to finish off planting my daffodils, because I've done one side of the plot and I want to do the other side of the plot now and get all that looking good. So we want all them daffodils in. Then I want to add a load of tulips as well. But the thing is with tulips is that they cost a lot more money than daffodil bulbs. Obviously, because it's nicer, to be honest, and obviously it's harder to get hold of. So I want to get a load more daffodils in the plot this year, and I would like a lot more hyacinths as well, and they're even a lot more money. And I didn't used to be that fussed about having spring bulbs, but now that I've learned that they're the first flowers that the bees go to when they wake up from hibernation, and they need them to keep them alive and to keep them going, that is why I planted so many, and I want to plant even more. Like I said, I want to do the other side of my plot this year and get the front border done as well, and then possibly next year I will do down the whole centre of my plot and plant daffodils all the way down the centre. but I'll have to plant them a bit deeper because we grow other stuff in there as well. So we'll have a think about it, but I would love absolutely loads more spring bulbs in the plot. The more spring bulbs that grow in there, the more the bees will be happier with me, and we will get fantastic crops from stuff. So we've got that done. Then we're going on to his plot. We've got his plum tree. I've talked about my plum tree. Not as many plums this year, but I'm okay with that. Then we've got his cooking apple tree. We've nearly finished with them. There's still quite a lot on there, but I've took all the bigger ones off now. I try to pick them before they drop, because then they can go rotten and stuff can eat them if they drop on the floor. So I try to pick them before they drop. Then we've got his other fruit trees. I've got my pear trees and I've got my eating apple trees. Now, my eating apple trees, wow, they are so full of apples this year. It's unbelievable. I can't believe how many I've got. The branches are literally laying on the floor because they're that heavy from all the apples on them. Whether we'll get a good crop, a decent sized apple from them, we'll have to see. Hopefully we do start getting some rain and they can start drinking and swelling up and growing a bit bigger, but obviously we won't be picking them now until probably beginning of October. That's when I usually pick all my eating apples, and my pears will probably be at end of September time, but we'll keep an eye on them. We do need to start trying to get down there and start watering them, because I've been lacking water in my fruit trees and I should really be giving them a good drink of water. But we'll see. Obviously with a hosepipe ban on, I won't be able to do much watering of them come up on the 26th. So we've got all them. As autumn raspberries, we're still getting absolutely loads on them. Obviously the more you pick them, the more they'll keep fruiting, and once they've finished fruiting, then I can trim them back down to the bases, ready for the new shoots to grow next year. So we've done that. Then we're going on to his main plot, and we've got his strawberry plants. The strawberry plants are thriving. Not with strawberries, mind you, I did notice some flowers on some today. They shouldn't have flowers on, so if you see flowers on them, take them off. Don't bother trying to grow strawberries at this time of year. So they're sending out absolutely loads and loads of runners. I'm giving them a good drink of water every time I'm down at the plot, because the more runners that I can get growing, the more plants I'll have next year and the more strawberries I'll get from them. So I'm absolutely looking forward to them coming along. Then we've got fig trees. I planted some fig trees this year. Never tried growing them before. Saw them in the garden centre, so I thought, yes, I'm going to buy them, I'm going to plant them to go with every other plant that I've got. So I planted them, and we've got a couple of figs on each one, so I'm really pleased about that. Whether it's from this hot weather, I really don't know, but we've got figs on them. So I would love to see some produce from them and get some figs from them. I think they're ready year after. I think they produce them this year and then I pick them next year. I really do need to read up about figs. So if anybody knows much about figs, let me know. Send me a message on Instagram and let me know how you get on with them all. So we've got them to do. We've also got on his main plot, we've got a sweet corn growing. A sweet corn's growing fast now. Again, I'm keeping that watered because you want to swell the cobs on them and get them nice and big and juicy. And yeah, the ends are starting to turn brown, which usually mean that they're ready. But I don't usually pick sweet corn until the end of August, so I'm leaving them. I'm not picking them yet. I'm going to leave them till the end of August. Hopefully Mr. Squirrel won't smell that they're ready and won't pick them. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on them. I'm hoping that we need to start giving them a lot more water to try and get them to swell a bit bigger, because some are still quite small. They shouldn't be turning brown on the ends yet. Whether this hot weather's messing with them, I don't know. So we've got them. We've got a few lettuces left ready. Get some nice big iceberg ones. So I'm hoping to get them picked in the next couple of days to have with my sandwiches and eat them. And then we've done well with the beetroot this year. My mum's been pickling that for me. Again, my mum's been doing it. I grow it, my mum makes it. But obviously she gets stuff as well, so she's been having some beetroot. What else have we got? We've still got us potatoes to dig up. Now the plants are still looking healthy enough, but we do need to dig them up and get them out. But the ground's obviously rock hard at the moment, so it's not ideal to be digging them up at the moment. We have got courgettes coming out of our ears, literally loads and loads and loads of courgettes. I'm giving them away, I'm eating them, yes, they're growing big because I'm not eating them fast enough. But yeah, we're getting some decent sized courgettes coming off them. And as pumpkin, we've got a pumpkin growing. I lost a couple of pumpkins off the plant. They seem to have gone a bit funny on them, so I snapped them off so that they could concentrate on growing the other ones nice and bigger. Obviously, again with pumpkins, keep giving them drinks of water to help them swell. That's how you get nice big pumpkins. So yeah, everything's coming along really well on the plot. I'm really pleased with how well it has actually come on this year, and I'm still thinking about all the winter projects that I want to do this year. I've got some good ideas for my plot this year, but we'll have to see how things pan out, whether the weather's good with us and whether we can actually get stuff done. But I am thinking of a big project to do. Hopefully we can do it, but we'll see about whether we do get on with it or not. So stay tuned for episodes coming up. So if you're new to this podcast, do click that subscribe button, do click that follow button, and keep in touch with how well I'm getting on. These are produced on a regular basis, not every day as I'd like them to be, but most days. But yeah, until next time, remember, keep smiling, keep gardening, and keep listening to Gardening with Ben's podcasts. Thank you for listening to today's Gardening with Ben's podcast. I hope that you've enjoyed it. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do click that subscribe button and feel free to share it as well on your Instagram stories. All you have to do if you're listening on Spotify is click the share button and you can share it straight to your Instagram story for all your followers to listen to and help build my listeners up as well and get more people listening to it. Feel free to check out all my social medias, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube and TikTok. Yes, I'm on TikTok. Go check it out. Check out my dancing. Gardening with Ben. And check out the link as well in the description of this podcast where you can check out my gardening t-shirt shop where I sell funny t-shirts with all different funny logos and designs on. And feel free to support me by purchasing one, and all the money obviously goes back into my allotment where I can share more gardening tips with you all. So until next time, remember, keep smiling, keep gardening and keep listening to Gardening with Ben's podcasts.